as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, as we can see, we're working on the house again today. You may have noticed that I have been being creative with the vines, so I've added a few more extra vines. I've kind of secured them in the lower down places, but not higher up, because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to have it going over the roof. I have decided that I'm going to have to find some way to attach the roof, because I'm fed up of it falling off, to be fair. I've also noticed that is it pushing it out askew a little? Something's not quite right on here. It doesn't fit as well as it used to. I think it's that, to be fair. So today is going to be a bit of remedial work, doing some, yes, it's this is sticking proud of here and it's pushing it out. So we're going to do work on a few bits. I've also decided I want the garden to be shorter. I don't want this to be taking up quite so much space, especially because I've got to store it. So I thought that I would cut the board down to about this side of the ruler. It'll still give me some scope. I think I might put a tree in the garden. I might put it that side, obviously, because we've got the vine this side. It'll give me some scope, but it's just not, having too much of an expectation on me. Sorry, the glue gun has dribbled all over my thing. So anyway, I just wanted to see if I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, but I need to get rid of this. I kind of want it to be, I didn't realise that would do such a straight line. Kind of wanted to see if I can kind of just, oh hang on, has it come loose? Oh, it's come loose. Maybe that's the answer then. Right, okay, so I thought I'd glued it in, but clearly I hadn't. So what I'm going to do is try and straighten that line up a bit. That line that I've just cut. And then I'd like to be able to cut it off that way, I think. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that. I might take the finger off and try and do it like that, mightn't I? I don't know whether this is working, but something's happening. Yeah, maybe working. I don't know. Like I say, don't know. So yeah, it's I just want to make sure that doesn't all get in the way when I close the lid. I think we also need to find some way to keep the roof on a bit more securely. I don't know whether to glue it on. I don't know, because how many times am I going to want to take it off? None. It's not a doll's house at the end of the day. It's just meant to be. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to glue that on. So I'll glue that into place first, and let's just make sure that that's kind of resolved the issue that I was having with the. Yeah, still a bit of a gap. But I think let me just try and show you what I can see. So we have a bit of a gap now. I think that is caused by the front of the house. So I can't do much about that. I don't want it to be that far up. I think we're just going to glue the roof on and then work around the areas that we've got. That's probably the best thing to do. Not going to be doing any more really inside. I know I was going to light it, but I kind of chickened out after all of the trials and tribulations of soldering. I need to maybe next project I will do that. Right, I'm going to glue it down, because then that means I can work on the rest of it uninterrupted. No issues with the vine keep pushing it away, etc. Oh, I've just completely dribbled glue down the side, but don't stick your nail in it, Dave, you complete moron. Which I did do. It's dribbled, like I say, it's dribbled down a bit. But anyway, that's kind of on now. And so, okay, so I still haven't decided. Well, no, I kind of think I've decided what I'm going to do with the vine and how I'm going to attach it. I'm waiting for something to come, so I've ordered some tissue paper, some green tissue paper, and I thought about trying to make some. If I put several layers together and then push it through that punch to try and make lots of tissue paper leaves, because I think that might be better than the solid ones, than, you know, like a cardboard leaves. So yes, so I've decided I am going to cut this down. So if that upsets anybody, I'm so sorry. But it's happening anyway. I think I was being a bit ambitious when I started this, and I'm going to just go with the flow and cut it down. So I think I'm going to cut it down to the 10 line. So that is there. There. Now if we just kind of just join those two together. Not easy to cut this off now whilst it's attached to that, but hey, I will do what I can and try not to push it off its base. Yeah, like that. So if I just move this down, and once I've got a groove in which to cut, I should be able to move the ruler out of the way. So, oh no, see, that's what happens, Dave, when you start going. No, it's, well, I've cut into the board really badly, but hey, we'll be able to sort that out, I'm sure. Might be able to build a wall or something around it. So there we go, much easier to work with now, so get rid of that. So I hope that doesn't upset anybody too much anyway. Yeah, so I continued making the vine with the same technique. This time I learnt my lesson. I did not lick it. I just add a bowl of water and I kind of trailed it through, a bit like if you were sheep dipping. Sorry, needed a drink. So, like I say, I've secured the vine in various places so that it doesn't pull away too much, but not too close to the top. Although I think I'm probably going to go onto the roof now, because now I've glued it on, it's fine. But I've got various bits kind of overhanging, etc. Don't know whether I'm going to go that way or that way. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing there. So the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make a tree for the garden. Now, the structure I want to use for that is some foil. So I have some foil. I have some, when I say craft foil, I have some foil not craft foil, it's just foil, it's in the craft room. Clinker, Dave, that's not what I want. So I'll be back in a minute. So remember when I made the grimoire and I made, see that's much better, I can tip it up now. And I made the mushrooms and I used a foil substructure. I think I'm going to do a tree in the same way. So thought that's what we would do. Let's move this out of the way. Everything's in the way of wherever I put it. So I think we're going to make a tree, like I say, using this. Let me turn this hot glue gun off so I don't burn myself on it. Now I've made trees before using the same principle, and it's basically a scrunch and roll technique. Right, so when you're scrunching and rolling, you don't want to scrunch either end. You want to scrunch the middle, but not the ends. So the reason for that is you're going to use the top half to make the branches and the bottom half to make the root system. So you don't need the root system to be as big. I mean, like, you know, we know it is as big because it would be in the ground, but you're not going to see it. We're not going to see it in the ground. So we're just going to cut this into, I don't know, let's see what that looks like. So this bottom half here, this is going to be our roots. So we're just going to be just twisting them and making them into roots. Doesn't matter if you pull pieces off because you're not going to use it all anyway. So you can have some short bits. Just remember, you're only suggesting that it's going down into the ground. You're not actually creating the roots. Again, just you kind of want them to kind of go to a point. I mean, if you've got some longer ones, that's good. So, and then this piece, I'm just going to cut that there and turn that into a longish one. And then this one. And also it gives it a good base for you to be able to then work from, so that you know it's gonna stand up. So that piece is not great there, but I might choose to get rid of it. Yeah, get rid of it. So that's our root system, basically. So we're going to have this tree, and what I like about using foil is it does give you that kind of twisted feel to it. And again, we're going to do the same with the top bit as we did at the bottom. Just open it out a little. I think I'm going to go with those to work off for now. So you can get some chunkier bits, and if you kind of twist it a little bit, don't try and twist it completely, otherwise you'll just twist it off. It gives you a nice structure to work on. Remember, it is foil though, so it is going to still be quite spiky. Yeah, like that, Dave. Kind of don't, like I say, don't completely twist it, but like pinch and twist and that sort of thing. And then this piece. Now, if you want to put more on, or you call it a moron, if you want to put more on, then you can. Obviously, you just need to like glue it on, which I think I might do because I don't think I want just 3 branches. You can also glue it on a bit lower down, or you know, whatever. But we'll also be adding some, you know, sub branches as well. So you see how it stands up nicely on its own. I find foil really great for that kind of model building. Noisy, but great. So I'm just going to think that's going to be enough. You want, when you're rolling it, don't try and just roll it up. You want to roll it in a real crooked way like that, and that just gives it some nice internal structure for when you're creating something. In fact, I might split that like that and create. I don't expect to, certainly not in this video, have covered it and turned it into a tree, but if we can kind of get some kind of an idea of how it's going to look, you know, its shape, etc. So this bottom piece I'm just going to flatten that out a bit, and then that way, then when we stick it on there, in fact, I wonder if that hot glue is just still hot enough to do that. Now if you're using hot glue on foil, remember it is metal, so if you pinch it, it will conduct that heat through the metal. Then you could scold yourself, so just take that into account. There we go, that's another piece. You can get them to look really good using this kind of technique, using foil as your substructure, and you can, you know, change it up as you go. Change the shape, or you know, and because it's only foil, you can, if you don't like it, it's going to start all over again. So I'm going to have that maybe like there. Yep, possibly in there. Let's see if this is still hot enough. Yep, it is. That's obviously, that glue gun had obviously been on a long time. Yep, I can feel the heat being conducted through there. So you want to make it look quite tree-like. So you make your own tree. I'm going to make my tree. So your tree might be better than mine, or worse than mine, or different to mine, or whatever. But it'll be your tree, and I'm out of my tree. So say nothing. Obviously, the more branches you put on, the more difficult it is to cover, but you still want it to look like a tree. So don't know where I want to put that one. Maybe there. And then I think we're going to add branches after this. Yeah, we'll put that there, and then we'll add branches. Is that where I was going to put it? It is now. Press that down with something that isn't my finger. Cool. So okay. So that's the glue pulling it over. So we're going to have some narrower ones now, because we're adding to the branches that we've already got, but also again we want to make them into sub branches. I might do 3 on this. It could be a bit dicey. I think that join might be very too tiny, very too tiny. So you say don't roll it too much, because you just roll it out, you'll just pull it off in your fingers, so just pinching it and kind of turning it. But yeah, so this is I once made a very large Easter bonnet in this way. I put a big tree in the middle of it, and because it's so light, it's just perfect. It's just the perfect thing for making trees with. You also want to think about the shape. It's kind of domed at the top of the tree. I might have to plug that back in because it looks like I'm using that rather than not using it, doesn't it? It's getting a bit cooler now, so although it's definitely going to be cooler if we don't do anything with it, Dave. I don't think that's cool. That's warm enough now. No, it's not. It's cooled down completely. Yep, that's really hot. Yep. We can also do the same at the bottom here. Like if I feel that this isn't strong enough, I can always put some extra roots in the bottom. Roots? I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Oh, why am I? The beds have fallen out, haven't they? So I could put a root in there. Should really be using something that's crafty rather than a pen, shouldn't I? But nevertheless, so it's great. This is great for making skeleton trees for Halloween things and the like. Because you can make it look however you like. You can paint it. Well, obviously, once you've covered it, you're going to have to cover it in something. I'm probably going to cover mine in paper mache like I would normally do. But you can, just paint it black if you're just doing a skeleton tree. So, but yeah, it's a cool way to do it, and you can get whatever structure you like. And like I say, just be careful because when you're putting it all together, it's metal. Oh, I've pulled that completely off, so I won't bother with that. So, might fold that back on itself. So I don't have both branches, they're both the same length. I'll roll that one together. Flatten it out, might glue that to there now, but before stick that onto there. And then that can go on maybe that branch. Maybe that way around. Yeah, okay, that way around. What did I just say about not doing that, Dave? Never mind. Still did it anyway. And you just want to kind of find that balance that you want from it. So I think this over this side needs to have a bit more, something a bit bigger. I think over here somewhere, maybe something coming off there. Let's just glue that bit there because that's not glued together. It's not holding together, I mean. Just so it holds itself up a bit more. There you go, much better. Where am I putting this? I want, oh, that's fairly balanced that way. It's not that way, so I need something coming off this here, I think. Or maybe coming off this one here. Or coming out of there. Or coming off that one. I think off this one, because this one doesn't have anything currently joined to it, so... this piece, let's just make that quite flat. I need that to be quite thin though. I don't. Otherwise, you don't get, as you're further up the tree, they don't get, the branches don't get fatter. The ones further down the bottom get fatter. So, I'm just trying to think of how it looks. So. I want it to look top heavy. I might put an extra branch on that. I've left that top bit because I don't know what to do actually. Let's cut that bit away and cut that way. Way so it's all the same length. That bit's a little bit flatter so that can go don't like that. Prefer that. Yeah, prefer that. So when I say don't do that, I mean don't you do that. Clearly it doesn't mean like I shouldn't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. It's one of those situations. And I think we're going to go there. And then have that bend that way a bit. Yeah. And you can get them looking quite realistic. I'm not saying that this one looks realistic. I'm just saying that you can get them looking quite realistic. If you try. Oh, that one's coming apart there. I'll just put a bit of glue in there. And you don't have to worry about it all being perfect when you're gluing it together, because stop doing that. Because you are going, remember, you're going to cover it in paper mache, so it's going to hold its own. Right, okay, so I think aesthetically that looks good. I get those bits off my fingers. I think I'm going to bring the house back in. I feel like it needs to, sometimes I feel like it needs a middle thing. I was going to say a middle finger. Don't give it anything the middle finger. So, I think I'm going to put the middle, not finger, on here. Keep that bit flatter at the bottom. The flatter the bit at the bottom, it's just easier to help stick in the middle. I think that's a bit. Take that off. It's a bit long. Yeah, we'll do that. Put that one on. on. You could be. I'm telling you now, you could be going forever, and you probably will be, because you'll faff and change your mind and change it up and do something else and say that's it. I'm leaving it there, and then you end up going, oh no, I'll put another bit on, and then you end up with like the biggest tree in the world. The biggest tree in the world. Okay, so bring this back in. So because the vine's going to grow this side, I think I'm going to have the tree this side. So I didn't want it to be too big, which he says now. Although actually that's worked out quite well, hasn't it? Because I can have it so that, in like for me, the thing that says horror movie is the trees squeaking against your window. So I think that's probably. I know it looks like a very 70s Christmas tree, 60s Christmas tree, but it's we're not going to leave it like that. We are going to cover it, but I definitely like that. I think that I know you can't see it as well as I can. Let's just tip it up and see if you can see it better now. So can you see what I mean? That's going to go there when that's looking like a tree, proper tree. I think it'll look great, to be fair. So yes, I'm going to have that tree on there. I am going to cover it. I think I'll do that in a separate video though. So I think that we'll do the paper mache bit separately. Is there anything else that I want to do? So the other thing I was thinking is I might build a wall around the property. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I need something that looks like a wall, but isn't a wall. So maybe that could be useful for that. So let's move that out of the way. So if I made the structure out of cardboard and then I'm just thinking aloud now. I've never tried this, so I'm just thinking aloud. So if I then used, you can't even rip foil. That's how weak I am. If I then used like a crunchy roll kind of technique and put that over the surface of the whatever it is that I'm going to use as a structure, I could make that possibly with all of the nooks and crannies and stuff, make that look like stone. So like a stone wall. That's quite common in the area in which I live. Not stone wall, but a stone wall. So if I made it like that, so then I could kind of form this. Let's just see if I can see show you what I mean. It's not going to be easy to kind of make that leap of faith. Oh, where is my pokey tools there? When it's not going to be stone coloured. So they tend to have like rocks on the top. I was hoping that I could kind of get that shape of rocks on the top. Push that back up again from underneath. And put that, so like what the actual, whatever the substrate of it will be, maybe cardboard box, or I could actually use some of that cardboard that I pulled off, couldn't I? Maybe. I have that behind there. Let's just have a play, shall we? So let's cut that bit to there. And how big do we want it to be? About there. So this is the thing that's going to give it the structure. I can't cut cardboard. That's because you're not supposed to cut it like this, Dave. Just use your knife. So if I stuck that onto the back of there, that gives it the support that it needs and something to kind of glue it down to the surface with. Let's just glue that in. That's very hot. In fact, it's steamingly hot. So I'm just going to put that in there just so that it all sits around there. Okay. I'm going to reshape it from this side. And because this has got some kind of give to it, what I was thinking is making some kind of shape. I'm not sure how I would do it though. No, it needs to be some. I'm pushing into it so it can look very random stone-like. I don't know whether this is going to work, like I say. They're all different size stones. It could look like some kind of a wall, couldn't it? Oh, it's very hard to tell because it's all so shiny. Maybe it needs to be covered in something first. Let's have a look. So let's see. Maybe we try that again. So we use. Let's cut this down properly. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this out of things where I don't have to keep buying stuff. I wanted to make it as quite a cheap little project. Now, I know I've gone out and bought a soldering iron, but I will use that. In fact, I have used that since. I've used it for something else that I had in the house that needed to be soldered back together again. I've got some outside lights where they'd come off from their solar charger thing, and I wanted to try and go back onto it. So right, let's kind of need to I don't know if this is going to be too much. So that's going to be our. We want this to kind of form round it a bit. We also want to cover it so that it's not too squashy, not too pliable. Don't know if this is going to be too thick, but so this is how I did the leaves, although it was in a different bowl, but like. So, how much of this do I need? Let's just tear a bit off first. Yeah, I should tear it down, shouldn't I? Just want to roughly cover it. Now, this is not proper paper mache, I know, but I just want to see if I can get it to do what I hope it will do. Not easy to get this to stick to here because it's foil. So this is what I've done. So I've basically just covered that in some faux paper mache. It's not even faux paper mache. It's just made just a simple paper mache. So this is what I was thinking. If I use this as kind of walls, I already think it looks quite craggy and very, you know, like it could be a wall of some kind anyway. But I was thinking, I wondered if I could press an impression into this. So it's just a case of how the heck am I going to do that? Because you come up with these great ideas, Dave, but you then, you know, don't have the ability to do it. So I was thinking, if it's not, I don't know whether it's going to work like this, but so if we made it look kind of natural, no, it's not going to look natural stony like that, is it? Maybe if I just scrunch it, it's going to look more natural stone-like. Does it have to look like natural stone? Does it have to? Could it be just a different type of a wall, maybe? I don't know what's going on with that piece. That didn't stick down, but oh, see a bit of foil now, but never mind. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Whether I like that. I do like it, but I don't know whether it looks like anything. Does it need to look like anything? Oh, look, that's all coming apart now. Let's stick this down. Does it need to look like anything? What do you think? Do you think I should be looking at maybe putting... Because, like, I know somebody's going to say, put a picket fence around it. But, again, picket fences are not something that you get in the UK. I guess the reason why for that is because it rains such a lot. And it wouldn't remain wood for long. It would just turn into rot. And I guess, you know, also we tend to have a lot of stone available in the UK. So let's just have a look and see. So just tip that up so you can see. So if I had that round the outside. I mean, I like it. I don't know whether I'd know what it was supposed to be. I mean, obviously that bit. That's just going to annoy me. It's the right size, as in height. Or do I paint it? Oh, maybe I painted it to look green. It could look like a hedge. Because they certainly were popular in the 70s. Not so much after then. You know, I think people that had what they called privet fences. Was it privet? Is that what it was? I was going to say made of. Is that the plant that it was? Privet. I think it was. Yeah, privet hedge. Yeah, that is. I think possibly that's what we should do then, is maybe paint it green and make it look like a hedge. Sorry, I'm just trying to cover that up. I know I don't need to because it's only my prototype, but you know me. You know it's going to drive me insane if I don't try. So I'm trying. And that piece will come off. Oh, I don't know what I'm sticking it for. Today is not the day to try with me, mess with me even, or to try me. Stop. So maybe I could turn it into a hedge. If I save up, I could turn it into a hedge fund. Ha ha! Yeah, alright. Shut up, Dave. You think you're funny, but you're not. What do you think? I mean, the thing is, by the time you've told me what you think, I'll probably have moved on. No, because I'm not going to be able to do this next week. So, because I filmed 2 weeks in advance. Well, not 2 weeks in advance, a week in advance, but it's kind of, sometimes it's 2 weeks and sometimes it's a week. Anyway, I'm not necessarily going to see everybody's comments, but maybe I just wait until I've heard from you before I try anything. Don't try anything. So if I'm just trying to make it green quickly. To see if it looks like a hedge, if we can make it look like a hedge. Because it's really hard to envisage it as a hedge in brown, unless, like, you know, it's dyed. So that's kind of green now. Like, my fingers are completely wrecked today. Right, let me just dry this off and see if we can get this sorted soon. Okay, so, well, it's not completely dry, but I don't know. I still don't know. Do I try and make it into a wall? Do I make it into a hedge? I could try and do a brick wall, but again, it's going to be... I mean, I guess I could make a brick wall the same way as I did the chimney. I don't know. I need your help. So, tip it up again. What should I do? Should I scrap it? I'm kind of feeling like I should scrap it, but that's my defeatist attitude because it didn't go the way I wanted it to. So, I think I'm going to leave it here for today. I know it's been a bit of a lackluster video for you, wasn't it? I bet you're feeling a bit disheartened by my lack of enthusiasm for it today, but I'll be back with gusto. Wait until the tissue paper comes and then I can do those leaves. I need to find out something I can make grass with. I need to do this as well. We're going to make that, don't forget, we're going to have that as a tree there. So next week I think what we'll do is we'll cover that and turn that into more of a tree. We might actually make it, if this is going to be full of leaves, we might make this in blossom and make some... I could just order some pink tissue paper in readiness. So anyway, that's it I think for today. So I need to kind of step away and think about it a bit more, I think. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave. Please let me know what you think I should do with this. Throw it in the bin. Yes, that's exactly how I feel at the moment. So, but you know, the concept of it, I don't mean this particular piece. What kind of wall you think, definitely not going to be doing a picket fence. I think it'll either be a brick wall, a stone wall, or some kind of a bush, like a privet hedge. And what, you know, any ideas I can do for like using grass that I don't have to go and buy is what I want. I don't want to have to go and buy any more things. I want to be able to use stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. So next time I'll be covering that tree. So that's what I'm going to be doing for next time. But yeah, anyway, thanks very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of love, lots of hugs. See you soon, folks. Take care. Bye. Bye.